An intriguing tie on Tyneside. Whichever of these two gets through tonight will be fancied to go deep into the competition. But there is only room for one of them in the last 16. Big changes for both, so let's see who is better placed to rise to the challenge. By Rodri's suspension. This week of his Manchester City career, he says. And here they come with Sergio Gomez. Looking to float it in dangerously, but it's going to evade both Alvarez and Grealish in the middle. Gomez with the goal scored debut. Mr. Bob on the ball and covered really good ground here, finding Alvarez, Pope saves with his feet. And it's scrambled clear just in time by Livramento. First major, and it goes the way of Manchester City. Newcastle just stood off Oscar Bob. He was off balance when making the save, but he did enough to deny Alvarez. Support here from Kovacic. With a lovely little ball, they've worked it well, and he finishes flashed across the face of goal. Took away through. Well worked, and it wasn't far away, was it? From Alvarez here. Kovacic couldn't put that one out. Isak comes clear with it, slips it through for Murphy. Might open up here for Newcastle. Not quite. Will take it, did enough to deny Jacob Murphy. Having dominated the entirety, really, of the first 40 minutes, Manchester City were almost caught out here. First sight of goal of the game for the home team. Murphy's barely been in the game, but he had time to take that touch before this. She's going to take this one. Swings it in. Pope gets a strong punch to it. Certainly nothing in it after the first half at St James's Park. Manchester City with the vast majority of the ball, but there was a big chance late in the half for Jacob Murphy there. Saved by Stefan Ortega against the balance of play. Newcastle just showing signs of growing into it as an attacking threat, but it's Julian Alvarez that has perhaps had the first half's best chances, or at least the majority of them, twice going close for Manchester City, who so far haven't been able to make their possession pay. And at the break at St James's Park it remains Newcastle United 0, Manchester City 0. Certainly didn't translate into end product. So here come the changes. Bruno Guimaraes is on in place of the 17-year-old Lewis Miley, whose first senior start ends at half-time, as does Lewis Hall's first start for Newcastle, actually in the first half, to change the game against Sheffield United at the weekend. See what the second half has in store. Alexander Isak gets the game back underway for Newcastle. Eddie Howe acting decisively at the interval, maybe, by introducing two regular starters this season. There goes Murphy again. Joelinton. Strong surge from Joelinton. Cutting it back. Alexander Isak! Newcastle United make the breakthrough. It hasn't taken long in this second half when a much more positive approach has been rewarded. Move that started just inside their own half. Murphy played his part. Joelinton played a really big part. So difficult to shrug off the ball. And there was Isak perfectly positioned to do the rest. There were players between he and the ball here, and notably Rico Lewis, who stepped over it, and it's come back to cost him. Straightforward in the end for Alexander. Left a little more limited by the injury to Harvey Barnes at the weekend, as Manchester City get the free kick here. Just getting a bit more involved. Themselves back in the game. It's going to be left for Alvarez to take it, delivers dangerously where Akanji was up from the back. Gordon trying to prevent the corner kick, just unable to do that. Almiron. Manchester City with a player down. Livramento on the ball for Newcastle. Sergio Gomez has got the issue. Picked up a booking against Forest at the weekend. The referee is reaching for a card again here. It's going to be a caution for the coach. The second game in succession. So looking to inflict further punishment of their own from the corner, which Matt Targett is going to take. He swings it in. Joel Linton rising highest to get his head to that. So he is reaching for his card again here. Just in the direction this time of Tonali. Played their part in that. He's sitting a little bit deeper now. Doku's done well though. Slips a good ball through and it just skips away from Foden. Phil Foden. This is another nearly moment for Manchester City, of which there have been many. Very few of them have translated to bring it under his spell. Well, Lewis. Oh, and it's just a whisker away from Rico Lewis. He was partly culpable, perhaps, in conceding the only goal so far. Rico Lewis determined to try and atone the impressive pre-season that he had. Well, Newcastle not there yet. 6 added minutes at the end of the 90. So this story is far from finished. Decisively, emphatically by Lascelles. And that's the full-time whistle. That's victory for Newcastle United. A vital victory for Eddie Howe and Newcastle United. His first as a manager against Manchester City. Winners of this competition in 6 of the last 10 years. But last season it was the one that got away. And there will be no quadruple this year either, because Manchester City's Carabao Cup run ends before it has ever really got started. It ends at St James's Park, thanks to Alexander Isak's winning goal for Newcastle. Heady days indeed on Tyneside. Manchester City are well versed in embracing. They too rested many of their big names tonight, but they have fallen short here, and they are out of the Carabao Cup. It's Newcastle who go through. Full time, Newcastle United 1, Manchester City 0.